Now, some breaking news to bring you. GDP is estimated to have fallen by 0.3% in August. These figures just being released at 7 o'clock by the Office for National Statistics. So it brings our monthly GDP to be estimated to be close to the level of its pre-coronavirus levels.
Yes, so let's talk to economics commentator Laurie Laird. Laurie, morning to you. So talk us through gross domestic product, why it matters, what do you make of these figures?
Okay, this is such a good question because all that we have heard from Liz Truss is growth, growth, growth. It's not clear exactly what she means, or at least it's not that clear to voters. Gross domestic product is the sum total of everything that is produced and or consumed in an economy. So it's a sum total of what we are worth at any point in time. Think of it as your sort of personal budget statement and expand it to the country. It fell in the month of August, and that's between July and August. It wasn't expected to fall, and this 0.3% is a pretty big fall. Adding to the gloom, we had a little bit of a rise in July. That's been revised downward. So what that means is we've got 3 months in a quarter, right? We're in the third quarter. Well, we've ended the third quarter now. We only have September left. It would be really difficult to see an uptick in September that would pull that entire quarter into positive territory. So it looks like we probably went into some kind of a contraction, if not a recession, in the third quarter. So this really is a surprisingly bad report.
But, I mean, isn't August typically a difficult month anyway in terms of this sort of thing? I mean, you know, we had crazy hot weather, extreme heat. And
that's really interesting, actually, because I thought the hot weather and things... As an aside, these numbers are adjusted for seasonality.
Oh, okay.
So there's a statistical system. So you can look at retail sales, for example, in December and compare it to November, even though December is usually higher because of Christmas. So there's a system that they run through to adjust these things. But you do have anomalies, as you just mentioned. I thought that would show up in construction because it was so hot in August. A lot of workers, couldn't work a full day. Construction did very, very well. That's sort of the only bright spot in this report. Construction is only about 6% of the economy, so it was overwhelmed by weakness in services and production. The big thing here was health services, and that's still a bit of a statistical anomaly. We had so much health activity directed toward test and trace, vaccinations. That really fell off in August, and that negatively impacted GDP. That was sort of the biggest factor in this report.
Right. Well, so in some respects, we shouldn't be surprised that we want that to be falling off.
Absolutely, but you hope it's replaced with other things like increased visits to GPs. And there are a couple of months where that did sort of help the service sector because people felt more comfortable going to GPs. That helped the service sector, but that only rose a tiny bit in August, didn't compensate for this fall off in test and trace.